Hi, and welcome to episode 5. This is a small cap update on Plascred Circular Innovations, PLAS on the CSE. I've done a couple videos, one dedicated to Plascred, another one just with an update with some questions. So I reached out to the company, sent them an email. I got back some very detailed responses. I'm going to share some of these in here today. Again, my goal with these is to try and identify small cap companies in Canada that can drive job creation, revenue growth, and economic value for Canada. So let's step right into it. So first of all, Plascred, again, advanced plastic recycling process, robust strategy for commercialization, industry leading partners and expertise. These will all be addressed in some of the questions that I asked to the company. Again, great to see that companies are responding to, call it, shareholders or potential shareholders' questions. I think that is certainly something a lot of companies are lacking these days. But again, the more you can communicate with the investment community, you tend to get better value in your stock. You generate interest. There's business development opportunities. Again, these are all the things that we want to see more of. So why was this brought to my attention originally? I was watching it before, but the announcement from July 23rd, 2025, where they got $5 million from Emissions Reduction Alberta. Again, very positive development. That's quite the tedious and in-depth process. The fact that they got $5 million to advance their project, their development of first commercial scale facility, certainly a really good step to eliminating plastic waste. So some of the questions that I asked, I wanted to know about the status of the MOU with CN Rail. They are in the final stages of executing a long-term lease and logistics agreement at Scotford Yard in Alberta's industrial heartland. Again, I think that look for that definitive agreement announcement in the near term, definitely a positive development. The other thing was about, did they have to fill a unit train? I worked with a company that with frac sand coming out of the States, and one of the big things was they had to fill a unit train, which was 100 cars, and it's expensive, payment generally within 15 days. But it looks like they have an arrangement that they can use through what are called manifest rail cars, which I'm assuming are smaller trains or smaller rail cars. That I'll have to do some research on that, but that certainly is another positive development. The other thing, this plastic credit market, I did a little digging. There are a couple links here to the Canada's extended producer responsibility legislation, and then the circular materials. If somebody wants a copy of this, they can send me an email or even drop me a line. Again, this plastic credit market where they can get some sort of credit based upon the plastic that they take out of the system. Again, I'll try and do some research on that, get some more information. Another good thing, I always thought the problem with recycling plastic was the plastic bags. You'd see them get mixed up in these big machines that kind of crush it or strip it. I can't remember what the name. It's almost like a crusher, but anyways, yeah, they can do that. I mean, plastic bags. I wish they were back in the grocery stores. Instead of carrying 2 paper bags, you used to be able to carry 8 to 10 plastic bags. It just makes sense. And seeing so much plastic is all over the place in there, I don't know why they got rid of them. At least that's in Calgary. They won't disclose the global commodities offtake partner yet. I understand that makes sense. What I do see is they are a strategic supplier of some different products. Again, they want confidentiality. I respect that. That makes sense. As far as how the plastic waste delivered to the facility and landfill operators, good news here as well. It looks like they're working with GFL, Environmental, West Coast Plastics, and Recycling Works, all reputable companies. Links are included in this document. The big thing is the $25 million capital cost. It looks like they got some BDC senior debt facility, which is good. They got the grant. They've got some money from Alberta Innovates and IRAP. They're looking for 15 or 16 million in equity or JV in advanced negotiations. I mean, hopefully it's not a 200 million share private placement. hopefully there's some sort of joint venture or something that doesn't dilute the shares too much. But again, anticipate breaking ground in Q4 2025. That's right around the corner. That would be amazing. So again, I think one of the things, you look at with these smaller companies that don't have, they can't hire full teams to deal with every issue, but the fact that they took the time out to respond to the questions I had in a very detailed manner, I think that's very positive. Obviously, I think there's some key things to look for over the next, could be days, weeks, months, but certainly in 2025, and again, certainly a problem that we need to address. And just to talk about that again, 7% of the 5 million tons thrown away in Canada, this is from 2021, only 7% recycled. This stuff is going to the landfill. What a waste. What a waste of land and time and resources. If they can send it somewhere and actually get another product out of it, like take this waste product and produce something that could be beneficial, it just, again, another thing, it just makes so much sense. One of the things that stood out in here that kind of stood out to me. I don't know where these got these numbers, but in 2021, nearly 97% of Canadian households use their own bags or containers when grocery shopping. I don't know where they're shopping. I've been at the Walmart, the Superstore, and the Safeway in the last week. I didn't see anybody walking in with their own bags or containers. They were all either getting a paper bag or paying for a bag there. So maybe it's just me. But again, reduce this plastic. I know there's a lot of talk about microplastics from a lot of people online. I don't know enough information about it. I mean, is it possible? Of course it is. I think we need some more data on it. But again, yeah, Plascred solving a problem that, not only could it be up in the Edmonton area, but this is potentially a solution across North America. Who knows? It could go global beyond that, but certainly positive development, and appreciate the getting back to me. Again, this is not to be construed as investment advice. Contact a financial advisor and do your own diligence. So thanks for checking out. One other development is I'll be doing up a brief update on EDM Resources. It looks like they secured with Silver Crown royalties, and it looks like there may be some cash payments, which I think is also another positive development of a Canadian company. Again, driving job creation, revenue growth, and economic value for Canada. So let's get to work, Canada. Thank you.